Saved inside and put up on the dunk. By Strickland to Barnes for the dunk. Play steal by Tyler Zeller. He takes it all the way and throws it down.
Welcome inside the ACC Digital Network studios. The 2012 NBA Draft is complete. Tom Wormy, along with a couple of ACC legends, Mike Gminski and J.R. Reid, top 10 picks back in their day. And as we reflect back on this 2012 draft, J.R., give us that top moment, that observation that really sticks out in your mind.
Well, I think what sticks out in my mind is that Carolina and UK are pretty good. You know, they had 8 players in the first round selected. Just says a lot about both of their systems and the way that they played, doing it right, playing the game the right way.
For Mike, you, I know, were really impressed by the fact that the North Carolina players were selected, but not only that, they're going to have to be immediate impact players in their systems.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. You talk about best players available or need players, and I think for the drafts, for those 4 guys, those were need players in almost every instance. They're going to have to come in and provide a lift right away with their respective teams, so a little bit more pressure on them to come in and perform.
Well, the thing that stood out to me, guys, and you know I'm really sentimental, and I love emotion, and we saw some at this NBA draft when you saw Austin Rivers embracing with his father. Doc Rivers, who is the head coach of the Boston Celtics, was not with that camp during the course of the draft, was with his son where he wanted to be and share that emotional moment. You both have been there. You know what it takes to get to that point and the release of emotion that happens when you have finally heard your name called at the NBA draft.
Well, it's a lot of work. I mean, it starts out when you first start playing on the playground, then you go to high school, and then into college, and your family's with you the whole way. And then your name is finally called and all that emotion comes out. And especially for the Rivers family, Doc has been through it. He was drafted, he played in the league, so he knows exactly how Austin is feeling.
And you know, Mike, you and I didn't have to play under the scrutiny that these young players have to play under today. You know, they've got media following, internet coverage all the time. But this young man has been under the microscope since he was in high school, and he has adapted and done well with it. We know his family lines, we know the bloodlines, we know he's going to be a great player, but it was just good to see Doc, as you mentioned, not with Boston, but sitting with his son, enjoying this, savoring this moment.
And every time Austin has a question, he's got a great reference to go to in Doc Rivers, and it will be interesting when they meet head-to-head on the basketball court during the course of the season. All right, let's wrap it up with some toss-up question, guys. Rapid fire. Biggest surprise, Mike?
Miles Plumlee, I think in the first round, really impressed the scouts during his workouts. Everybody had him a late second round. He jumps up going back home to Indiana.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say Kendall Marshall. I knew he'd be selected high, but I didn't realize his high to Phoenix with a perfect set. A team that's vertical, gets up and down the court, and they love playing with the guys going to be passing the ball.
Yeah, picked in front of his teammates. John Henson, 14th to Milwaukee, and Tyler Zeller, 17th to Dallas, and then traded ultimately to Cleveland. All right, Mike, best fit.
I'm going to go with Harrison Barnes. I think a guy who can step in and is going to have to score immediately. That's his skill set. He's going to get the ball a lot. He's going to give him a chance to get some perimeter offense to that ball club.
I'm going to say Austin Rivers because he's down in New Orleans with the big fella Davis. So he's got a good starting point right there. If I'm a point guard, I'm keeping that big fella happy.
As we project into the future, do you see an all-star in this crop of ACC players selected?
I'll stick with Harrison Barnes. Yeah. I think a guy who's, again, you can score the ball in this league. That's a good place to start off with maybe a Glenn Rice type of player who can come in and light it up.
Well, absolutely. I like what he can bring to the table. Harrison Barnes, tremendous mid-range jump shooter as well as a long-range jump shooter as well. But I like Austin Rivers down there for New Orleans for some of the same reasons I just mentioned. They're doing some very nice things down there. And they have Anthony Davis. And it just makes it so much easier when you come in with an established big man. Yeah,
Rivers just 1 year playing for Duke, and Harrison Barnes 2 years as well. But those guys appear to have the most NBA-ready games as we advance. Well, the 2012 draft is complete, guys. An absolute pleasure to spend the evening with you. Couple of legends here in the ACC, Mike Gminski and J.R. Reid. I'm Tom Wormy. That's it from the ACC DN Studios.